So I already filmed this intro once, and then I accidentally permanently deleted it, so let's try that again. Summer has descended. It is hot, it is humid, and I'm uncomfortable all the time. But the flowers are nice, and fruits are tasting really good right now, so that's a plus. It is week 2 of me attempting to sew my dream summer wardrobe in 7 days, which I'm now changing to 5 days because in the first part of this series, I finished both my shorts in 1 day. So we are way ahead of schedule. Now, just as the reminder that I say for every single one of these, I do not do this in like 5 days in a row. I pretty much dedicate like 1 day a week to sewing. It is not possible for me to just sew for days and days on end straight. Great for people who can do that. That's awesome. Not really feasible for me. And I know not feasible for a lot of people as well. Now, this is going to be an uphill battle for me because I hate summer a lot, and I don't really like summer clothes either. I basically wear most of my summer pieces against my will. I have a few pieces that I like, but I don't have any summer clothing that I love. This is also just gonna be an experiment. Do I actually not like summer clothes, or do I just have a hard time finding things in my style and that fit me really well? So then therefore would I like summer clothes if I made them myself? And out of 100% thrifted fabric. Almost forgot to say that. If you didn't happen to catch the first part of this, I will have it above and in the description so you can go watch it, but you also don't have to if you don't want to. That's your choice. But let's get on to the designs that I'm going to be doing this week. Here are all the designs for the wardrobe, and last week I finished 1 pair of shorts and a skirt as well. In this video, we'll be tackling the next 2 pieces. First up is this blouse. I've been looking for a pattern that is similar to my favorite blouse that I own. I'll actually be wearing it later in this video, but I also wanted it to be a little different, giving myself a little bit of variety. So I found this McCall pattern recently that I felt like would be a perfect option for that. And the second piece we'll be working on is a pair of pants, and that is the Lane Pant by Sydney Graham. This is a pattern I've wanted to try for a while, and I finally get to do it. So here's the fabric I found for the blouse. It's a white bed sheet with this really cute but unique floral pattern. So here we're starting on day 2, and the first step was to sew the front and back plackets together. I usually don't need to read instructions for simpler patterns like this, since most patterns follow the same basic steps, but there's very few pieces to this pattern, and that made me a little bit confused as to how they all fit together. The plackets are self-lined, and you're supposed to understitch the lining layer to get it to lay correctly. This is always one of my favorite steps, and just make sure that everything looks a little bit nicer and neater, dare I say more professional. Once that's done, I gathered the sleeves and attached those to the plackets. Oh, I forgot to say this earlier, there are 2 sleeve options, and originally I was going to do the one that was gathered at the bottom, more like my original top that I'm inspired by, but I really loved the loose sleeve look, so I changed it to the one that just has a gathered trim at the bottom, and I thought it would be a little bit breezier for hotter weather. With both sleeves attached, you then sew the bottom edge of the sleeves to a notch, and the hole that's left over in the middle is where you're going to attach your bodice/peplum area. It's so simple, and yet it kind of melted my brain at the beginning about how a couple of rectangles basically makes this top. The top ended up being so long, I could have worn it as a dress, and I considered it for a second, but I decided to stick with the original plan and ended up cutting about 10 inches off the bottom. Then I had to gather 2 sections for the sleeve trim and 1 for the peplum section. After attaching those, the first top is done. So back to the second half of day 2, I started on the lane pants, and since I wasn't changing very much, I thought I would just go ahead and follow along with the YouTube tutorial the creator posted. I sewed the side seams together and then started on the outside pockets. And then all of a sudden the day caught up to me and I just had to stop immediately and take the rest of the day to rest. Okay, day 2 for this video, day 3 total. The top is done. It's actually sitting right over there. Don't look at it too closely. I'm starting off very tired. It is very humid outside. I can feel it in the house. I just love summer so much. The pants I would say are like halfway done at this point. I just like completely died at the end of that day. All of a sudden everything hit me and I needed to like sit down and rest. Today, is it even halfway done? I'm on the pockets. That's all I know. It's actually funny when you've been sewing for such a long time how some things you just realize you've never like tried before or don't even know. I think you can cut elastic smaller. That's why all the ribbing is on it. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I cut it and it didn't fray. So I can now make the elastic the accurate width that it needs to be because I have 1 inch elastic and I have 2 inch elastic. This one needs 1.5 inch and I didn't want to buy more. That just feels wasteful. So we're going to cut it down. Anyway, let's get started for the day. After the outside pockets were top stitched on, I then stitched the front and back panels together, top stitching along the rise for extra stability. For the drawstrings, you have to add 2 buttonholes, and because I don't do buttonholes very often, I completely forgot how to prep them for my machine, and it kept not sewing them, and I was getting very frustrated. I literally just forgot to put down a little lever, and I forget that every time. I was literally 2 seconds away from a meltdown before I remembered, so close save. Then I prepped the waistband. Then, like I mentioned earlier, I cut down the elastic and then threaded it through with a safety pin. After that, you secure the elastic down with 2 rows of stitching. I'll explain this a bit more at the end, but I accidentally made the elastic too small for the channel, and it caused some issues. Then I added the drawstring and hemmed the pants, and with that we are halfway through day 3, and pieces 3 and 4 are completed. All right, that is 2 more pieces done. I think we're gonna have to pause. All right, let's try that again. I don't think I'm in the same spot. It's fine. Okay, so first up is the blouse. When I connected that like placket and sleeve to the peplum area, the first time when I matched the notches and everything, it was way too tight. It could barely fit over my bust. So I took some of the gathering out, I took some of the sleeve stitching out to make it wider. And I think I actually went too far in the other direction because now I feel a little bit too oversized. I still like it. I just think it's a little hard to style with like shorts right now. The other thing is that actually the fabric is not quite as light as I thought it was going to be. It's a little heavier for like a big blousey blouse. It feels kind of warm, so it would probably serve better as a spring top than a summer top. I really need to start thrifting like super light fabrics. I just can't find those very often. So, but overall, I love the pattern of the fabric. I think it gives off the same vibe of the blouse that I was basing this off of, which is like my favorite blouse that I talk about all the time. I won't shut up about it. Anyway, it's not perfect. It's not quite there yet. For the lane pants, I really love this pattern. I love the attention to detail. I think there's several things that kind of set this pattern apart. However, when I'm between 2 sizes, I tend to size up rather than size down. I feel like even when I go off of my measurements, things tend to run small, especially patterns. So I want to size up, and I actually think it was a little bit too big. I should have sized down, but I didn't know. I basically make wearable mock-ups just because I hate doing actual mock-ups. So I think next time that I do this pattern, because I will definitely be trying out this pattern again, I'll go a size down, and I think I'll slim out the legs just a little bit. I like the wide leg, it's just a little bit too wide for my personal preference. I also messed up with the waistband because I made the waistband too small. Last time I said you have to make the waistband smaller if you want to do the top stitching to get it to stay in place. I went too far in the other direction. Now it's too small. I had to sew over some little folds. It doesn't look great, but you know what? We're gonna call it good. I don't know if my mind has been changed about summer clothes. We'll wait until all the pieces are done. I don't know, not sure yet. But that is 4 of the 6 pieces done. The next video, which will be 2 weeks from now, will be the final part, and I will do the last 2 pieces in that video. Doing really great time-wise. We're at 2.5 days right now for 4 pieces. I do think summer clothes are slightly faster to make because they're less fabric, which makes a lot of sense. I'm having a fun time regardless of my personal opinions. I'd love if you subscribed if you enjoyed this video, and liking and commenting also really helped me out. I hope you have fun, and I hope to see you back here next time. Bye.